631-672-3108 is the number to call. You're listening to the Sports Loudmouth. I'm your host, Errol Marks, my co-host, the Speedster, Speedy Petey. No Sean Smith tonight. Thank God. I'm just kidding, Sean. We love you. We love you. No more Gamecocks on the show anymore. I mean, I know Garrett's not a Gamecock. That's good. Remember, you can go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. Check out all our shows throughout the week, including The Loudmouth with me, Speedy Petey, and Sean Smith every single Wednesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. All you have to do to tune in and check out our local listings is go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. And somebody's been waiting, definitely calm and clearing everybody outside of his car. I don't know where he is. He looked like he was in his car, but I guess he's in his house. We are now speaking to 8-year MLB first baseman and outfielder Garrett Jones. Garrett, what's up, buddy?
What's up, fellas? Earl, how you doing?
We're looking good, man. You're looking good. We're looking good. You're looking good. We're all looking good. But I don't know if the Pittsburgh Pirates are looking good right now, as we're going into another season where they signed their big-time pitcher. They have a bunch of good young players coming up, but nothing to brag about in a division that is wide open. What are your thoughts to the Pittsburgh Pirates this offseason?
Well, they didn't make any big moves. They got Cruz coming back. He's going to be healthy. They got Chapman. They signed Chapman. So, I mean, a lot of the young guys are growing up a little bit, another year experience. They're going to be better. Yeah, they didn't make any big moves or spend big money, but that's Pirates' way, But I think they're going to compete. They're going to compete this year. And are they going to compete the way Pittsburgh wants them to? Or are they going to be in the playoffs? I don't know. They have the talent, so we'll see. But it's going to be – I think they're going to be a fun team to watch this year.
Yeah, so what are your impressions so far in what you've seen in spring training of both Henry Davis and Paul Skeens are the two best upside guys?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of Davis bombs. I mean, he's as strong as an ox. I think he keeps improving a catcher. He's going to be a stud. So, I mean, that's the thing. We have the talent. We have bats. We have some good pitching, good starting pitching. It's just got to come together. It's got to have these guys mature a little bit, develop, and compete.
Speaking of talent, the New York Mets have no pitching going into the season. Senga's out for at least a month. We had, I guess, a Mets and Yankees writer on the show yesterday and speaks very highly of the Mets pitching. I don't know why. Quintana's their number one guy right now. What are your thoughts to the Mets and going into the season as Quintana as their number one starter?
Yeah, I haven't followed a whole lot about the Mets, but I mean, if your starting pitching isn't solid, it can be a long year, and they're going to have to get in their bullpen a lot and wear a lot of their bullpen arms out early, and that could be devastating going on later on out in the season. So, you need starting pitching definitely to have a long longevity, last long in the season, and right now it's not looking good on paper, but you never know what could happen.
So what are your thoughts on the deferring money that we've seen the Dodgers do this offseason as a former player yourself? And like you said, with the Pirates, that's completely the opposite, where there's a low market organization.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Dodgers there's I mean, yeah, well, Ohtani's contract, he's making $2 million this year, which I just read. I think Barry Bonds is getting paid $2 million. There's like certain guys, there's guys that have those long contracts that are getting a couple million here and there. But it's impressive. I mean, they made it. It's a good strategy because it made them go sign Yamamoto. They're able to get some other pieces, and they're not spending a bulk of their money it's all invested in Ohtani. So I think it was a smart move, and he's going to get his money regardless. It's just going to be spread out over time a little bit, and the Dodgers are going to be fun to watch.
We are talking to 8-year MLB first baseman and outfielder Garrett Jones, friend of the show. We love him. He's been a very good baseball player in his years in the major leagues and doing well, as he always is. It's so funny. You mentioned Yamamoto. And he has not looked good in spring training. He has been horrible. And we've seen a lot of these Japanese pitchers, they get brought into the major leagues and they fail. And there have been a couple of Japanese pitchers that have been good, Ohtani being one of them. A couple of Yankees have been, pretty good. What are your thoughts to the Japanese pitcher? What are your thoughts to so far what you've seen of Yamamoto?
Oh man, he's got the stuff. I think it could be nerves a little bit. I mean, he dominated so much in Japan, and I mean, Japan's no joke. Those hitters battle. They're good hitters. I mean, he dominated over there. So he might be coming over here a little nervous, big contract. He's still only 25 years old, feeling some pressure a little bit. But thing about, I've noticed with a lot of Japanese guys, they'll make an adjustment. They will work on it. They'll work on it, work on it. They will figure out what they need to do to succeed, and he will make an adjustment. He's got the stuff, he's got the arm, and it'll just be a matter of time. Not spring training, not really too worried about it. But come the season, I think he'll start making some adjustments. He might have some growing pains here and there, but I think he'll be okay. He's got the stuff for sure.
So one of the trends that happened last year, I know last time we had you on the show, you were mentioning you liked a lot of some of the rule changes that were in baseball, but I think that really, it as a whole benefited a lot of the younger teams, as you saw the Rangers and the Diamondbacks go to the World Series, and a lot of other younger teams do well, like the Orioles. You think that kind of trend is going to continue?
With the rule changes? Yeah.
With the rule changes, yeah.
Yeah, I think it will. I mean, I think guys coming up there just used to those rules, and older guys had to make the adjustment, and kind of stubborn in your ways sometimes. They don't want to change, and so younger guys, I think they're going to be more used to it and adapt better and adapt quicker, and it's just the way it goes.
The New York Yankees added Juan Soto in the offseason in the middle of a lineup that has Aaron Judge now and Giancarlo Stanton, who lost 20 pounds and muscle this offseason, which says he's more limber, and he's going to add a little bit more pop to his bat. What are your thoughts to this Yankee lineup now with, I believe, one of the best lineups in baseball?
It's ridiculous. I mean, the fact that Stanton lost 20 pounds, it's all muscle because he didn't have an ounce of fat on the guy. So that's interesting, but I mean, maybe he's stretching more and leaning out just because he's always had those like little tweaks where he pulls a quad, a calf, and all those weird muscles. And it's like, this guy's built like a Greek god, and you're like, what the heck going on, So maybe that's it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think he's got tremendous power. A guy capable of 50 plus, Judge 50 plus, and then Soto hitting balls in the Yankee Stadium, which, the only thing, you could get pole happy being a lefty, seeing that short porch. I was guilty of it every time I went up there. You think you could just flick balls over there. It's not the case when you're facing great pitching. They are pitch you. So, I mean, I think as long as he stays within himself and still is able to drive the ball left center, up the middle, he'll get us plenty of home runs to right field. But I think he's 40 plus. So, like, this lineup is insane.
And here's the funny thing. They added Verdugo, and everybody forgets they added Verdugo. He's very good in Yankee Stadium. He's another left-handed power bat. Now you can, and the Yankees have had this problem for the last couple of years, and this is something that everybody's attacked Brian Cashman over the last couple of years, is they haven't added left-handed power. Now you can go righty-lefty, and completely mix it up. And now you have Juan Soto in the middle of these two behemoths in Judge and Stanton, and you have Gleyber Torres, and you have Verdugo. It is ridiculous. This lineup is ridiculous.
It's insane. Yeah, I mean, on paper, you're like, good God, how can they lose? So, I think if they stay healthy and everybody does their job, and everybody does what they're kind of expected to do within reason, I mean, shoot, the sky's the ceiling. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Dominguez they're saying he could be back very early from that. From an injury like that, the UCL tear, and everybody says, oh, he's not going to be back until August. They're saying he could be back in May, and that guy's a switch hitter, and they call him the alien. Could you imagine going with that outfield? I mean, Dominguez, Verdugo, Grissom, who's a two-time Gold Glove winner, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton. I mean, it's the best outfielder in baseball. It's not even close.
Right. Again, like I said, like on paper, it's ridiculous. It's going to be exciting to watch. And a guy that I saw just hit a bomb the other day, Spencer Jones.
Fantastic kid.
That dude's got some power, and he's got some potential too. So I don't know where he's at in the organization, but yeah, I mean, it's stacked. I mean, I'm going to be watching a lot of Yankee games this year for sure. So
Double-A. Spencer is going to start the season in Double-A, probably by the end of season Triple-A. He will be up sometime next year. He'll be a part of this roster. Whatever happens to Soto, if they bring Soto back, I mean, they're loaded. I mean,
loaded, yeah,
loaded. and now they have Aaron Judge for another 8 years, well, 7 years after next year. But his best years are probably maybe 3 more years. He already came out and said that foot injury will probably be there for the rest of his career, which is crazy. I didn't think it was as bad as everybody thought it was, but he's coming out and saying that he'll never be 100% over there, which is kind of scary when the Yankees gave him $360 million when it came to that injury. So we'll see what happens with that.
That's tough. And they got Stroman, and hopefully Stroman's healthy. I mean, that guy's nasty. He can eat up some innings, and they only spent what, 2 year 30. He got like a 37 million. 2 years, 37 mil. So they didn't spend a lot of money on a guy that could come back and be a really strong pitcher for them as well. So
as long as he shuts his mouth, okay. As long as he keeps his mouth quiet. I mean, he comes from my hometown, Patchogue. I'm from Patchogue. I know his family. His brother's going to be some baseball player too. He's going to be drafted in another year or so. I think the kid's 16 years old. Great hitter, sensational defensive player. So I know all about the Stroman family, and their father is he's built like an ox. You want to talk about inhuman? I mean, I've watched that guy work out. It is inhuman. When people watch me work out, and I watch this guy is not human. So, and he's a lot bigger than Marcus. Marcus is small. He's like
he's not a huge
5'8",
guy,
5'9".
right.
You know how big his father is? His father's like 6'2", 6'3". I mean, he's huge. He's a huge man, and his brother's bigger than Marcus too. So, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see. But yeah, Marcus Stroman. Everybody keeps attacking that move, and I say, what are you attacking it for? It's a cheap move. If it works, he's a fourth starter. If it doesn't work, you still got him on the cheap, and you move him to the bullpen.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. I think it was a great move. Yeah, no doubt.
So we were talking about Brian Cashman earlier, and one of the other storylines this offseason was some of the player relationships, the media relationships he had at the winter meetings and stuff like that. And we had Jabba Chamberlain on our show back in December, and he was saying some interesting things about some of the player relationships with Cashman. What was your connection like with Cashman when you were with the Yankees?
You know, we always got along. I always got along well with him. He was in the clubhouse surprisingly more than I feel like most GMs that I saw with my, the teams I played with. But he spent a lot of time in the clubhouse, and I had some good conversations with him, and seemed like a good guy. And I know he's got a lot of pressure on him. He's been in that hot seat for a long time, and has had some winners, but I think he does well. And I mean, maybe some guys rubbed him the wrong way. I think that goes for everybody. But me personally, I had a good relationship with him.
Yeah, well, I could see Brian Cashman loving to hang out in the clubhouse. Speedy likes hanging out in the clubhouse too, but for other reasons.
Yankee Stadium clubhouse.
For other reasons, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to speak on it on this show, but Speedy just likes to go into clubhouses and look at things, right, Speedy?
Garrett, I've never intruded in any of your clubhouses. I know that. Don't let this guy give you any false ideas.
I love it.
We are talking to 8-year MLB first baseman and outfielder Garrett Jones, friend of the show, fantastic personality. And by the way, he did play for the Yankees for a little while, and he knows a little bit about Brian Cashman. And it's so crazy. When we go and look at, GMs, and we're trying to compare GMs, there was a GM that was signed this offseason, last offseason, regular season, in David Stearns with the New York Mets. And there's a lot of questions of what he did in the offseason this year, and he really didn't do nothing. And now you're going, Steve Cohen already came out and said that they're still playing to win. How are they still playing to win when they didn't add anything? They didn't give Pete Alonso that extension. He's going to be up for a free agency next year. Where do they go with this team? And I'm going to tell you this right now. Met fans aren't going to be happy next year if they don't open their pockets, which Steve Cohen, Uncle Stevie, loves to open those pockets. Just didn't do it this year.
Right. Yeah. For whatever reason, who knows? I mean, there's so many reasons why things happen, and maybe they're confident in their team just being healthy for this year. But I mean, it's one of those things.
Don't lie, Garrett. Don't lie. You know the truth. Are you going to be confident with that lineup? Come on, man. That lineup is horrific. That outfield is putrid. Okay, they don't have any offense out there, and their infield. You're going to bet on Lindor again. You're going to hope that Alvarez is going to have the season he had last year. Meanwhile, his rookie season, he looked horrible. And then you're going to bet on the guy that's giving you 45 home runs and over 120, 130 RBIs every single season since he's been up, and you're not going to give him an extension. Shame on Steve Cohen. Right. Shame on that David Stearns. He's not David Stern that was the commissioner of basketball. He's David Stearns who got let go or decided to part ways with the Milwaukee retards, okay? And that's what they are. They're retarded. I'm sorry.
You're right. I mean, yeah, if you're gonna do anything, extend Alonzo would be my opinion in that. And and at least you got your big guy, you got your big horse signed up, and he's there, and he's going to stay there. But yeah, well, maybe inflation got them too. Who knows? Maybe they're holding on some extra.
Do you know, Garrett? Do you know how much Uncle Stevie made last year?
Oh God, I don't even know how much.
$4.5 billion. Do you really think that man is crying about how much he pays the players? I mean, honestly. Right. Sign Pete Alonso this offseason and then go after Juan Soto. Now you're not going to get both guys because now Ragazzo already said it. He should have signed him this offseason and then go after Juan Soto. Now you're going to have to pay Juan Soto $600 million and then pay Pete Alonso $300. That's $900 million for two players. This isn't deferred money. This isn't the Dodgers.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, it's interesting. I'd love to sit in one of those meetings and be like, what, the before spring training, the all winter, what are they talking about and what moves are they trying to make? Like, I wish I could have sat in there and been like, what are you guys doing here? And apparently nothing, but it showed up as nothing. So
Garrett, you played with Starling Marte. If you have any tips on how to keep him healthy, too, that would be helpful.
Marte's another freak. I mean, that dude has 2% body fat and has always been a great athlete and a great dude and takes care of himself. But again, it's like one of those things. It's almost like when you're too ripped, it causes these little nagging injuries, and it's for whatever reason. But no, I mean the guy takes care of himself well. It's just like. Some guys are just prone, or some guys just get injured more than others. And there's guys that bad bodies and look like they're out of shape that never get hurt. And then guys that are built like Greek statues, have all these little weird injuries. And you're like, how does that happen? But baseball, man, maybe baseball is a different kind of grind. And, for whatever reason.
It's the Mets. They always have players that are too ripped, aka Noah Syndergaard, who love to work out in the offseason, get to 230 pounds, but then he gets hurt in the first month of the season.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, I mean, it's baseball. I remember that I loved lifting weights in the offseason. I just get as big as I can, and I started out running because I'm like, I just want to get as big as I can, hit the ball
for your wife. For your wife, and don't lie, Garrett.
What's that?
For your wife, don't lie.
Yeah, right. I want to look good
for your wife.
Spring training when I go to the beach, I at least want to look good. And then but I'd drop weight throughout the season just to start running around. But I would be stiff and my hamstrings be tight, and I'm like, I should have ran this off season more and should have done this. But I was, at least my forearms were big for TV.
Well, you said a word. You mentioned a word that Speedy absolutely loves, and that's stiff. So that's a good thing, right, Speedy?
I don't know where you gets this context. I know you were hearing some of the end of our betting segment with our friend Wes joking around with the horses. Because meanwhile, I haven't rode a horse since I was a kid, so he thinks I have context for everything when I don't.
I love it. That's awesome.
There he is.
There he is, bro.
That's good.
Bro.
That was a good one. That's good, Fish. I like that one.
So Garrett, don't you think that looks like a 19th century painting combined with modern graphics?
Yeah, it's a good one for sure. That's a key.
This is what our executive producer likes to bring up. It was a slight downgrade over what he did yesterday when Errol and Sean Smith are going to have their duel of workouts.
First of all, Garrett, you're a former professional athlete, and we've had Sean Smith is a part of our show every Wednesday. He's a 10-time veteran in the NFL. He's now, he's retired. He still weighs 330 pounds. Okay. And this man had the audacity to tell me that I am flabby. Meanwhile, I'm all muscle. I don't have any flab on my body. This man looks like he's got too many marshmallows on his body. Okay. He's eating too many Oreo cookies, and he's not having 1 or 2 sleeves. He's probably eating 4 or 5 every day. Okay. Right. And he's attacking me. Okay. Attacking me and telling me I'm doing steroids or doing other things. And I just said, listen, man, you look like a Sasquatch. Okay. If I was looking for Bigfoot, I would have found him a long time ago if I knew Sean Smith. Okay, there he is, right there, smoking his weed.
Oh,
So
nice.
thank
Okay.
you. There he is, enjoying his Dutch over there. Oh, there he is. And they're trying to pretend that I'm some Jersey Shore idiot. Okay, so that's what I deal with every single show, every Wednesday. That piece of you know what. But anyways,
Garrett, to put it in perspective too, Sean has the Kansas City Chiefs logos all around him. See, like you take pride in the Pirates because you played there most of your career. Sean only played 2 years with the Chiefs, but he won't represent the other teams he played with longer.
He played with the Bengals 4 years, and he's a Chief fan.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that guy is eating too many porcupines or something. I mean, he's eating too much paint chips or something. I mean, that guy is out of his damn mind. By the way, I mean, he smokes. How many different foods did he eat on the show last night? He had ice cream, he had cookies, he had gum. I mean, anything he could stick in his mouth.
And last week he made a run to Shake Shack.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I like Shake Shack. I mean, Garrett, you got to come out here. We'll go to a Met game and I'll take you to Shake Shack in City Field. That is wonderful. Watching a baseball game and eating some of that.
Oh yeah, Shake Shack. I have Shake Shack 10 minutes from me, and it's literally 10 minutes from my house, and oh yeah, to have Shake Shack and watch the baseball, that sounds like a good day.
I mean, you're a complete winner, my friends. We love you as always. How's your son's baseball team?
It's good. He's good. He had his appendix out a few weeks ago, but
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was a crazy thing, but no, he's good. 6th grade baseball, or 12U, and he's doing good. He's thriving. I think he's going to be I see a lot of pitching potential. You know, he's like, pitch is okay, but he's got a lot better arm than I ever had, and he's got some potential there. Hitting's come along, but it's fun. It's fun, and then me and him are gonna go to Joe Mauer's Hall of Fame induction this summer, so that'll be a lot of fun too.
Well deserved, but we've kind of matched Joe Mauer's numbers to Don Mattingly. Why hasn't baseball and the Hall of Fame inducted our friend Don Mattingly into the Hall of Fame? What a disgusting thing they have done to Donnie baseball.
If you would have asked me, is Mattingly in the Hall of Fame, I probably would have said yes. Like I would just assume so. Like that doesn't even make sense. He's not. Wow.
Yeah. Give me one of your bats, okay? I'll line all those riders up, and I'll take my swings after their heads. Okay? I mean, Speedy, you could bring your stiffy out.
No, I'm not involved in this. You know who would be involved in this is our friend Ryan Spader.
That's true too. Ryan's a good guy, man. I like Ryan. By the way, my question to you first, and we've had a lot of my final question, I'm sorry, because I have to go. My final question to you is, do you believe, and I've asked a lot of ex-professional baseball players this question, do you believe steroids should be allowed in baseball?
I don't. Oh, well, okay. As a fan, yes. As a fan, I think it'd be exciting. I mean, just behemoths, going crazy. But I think it does take away from a lot of good players that or even an okay player that does steroids could be a great player then. And then a great player that does steroids can be superhuman. I don't know. That's a weird question. I would say no. I got to say no on that, just because I just feel like
you're one of the first that said no. I'm surprised.
Because I just feel like there's such an advantage, and there's too many downside. Like, I mean, you take steroids, you're going to have to be on like testosterone the rest of your life. Like, it's very unhealthy for your body, for one. So like, if I'm like, say there's a healthy guy, or if I'm like, hey, I'm going to do this naturally, but like everybody around me's on steroids, and I just literally can't compete unless I get on the stuff. It's like, now I got to damage my body. I get done playing baseball, and now I have to be on testosterone and whatever else could be wrong with my heart and these things that cause damage. So I would say no. I can't say yes to that. No.
I just want to let you know, in the 50s and 40s and the 60s, they were doing amphetamines. So, and that's even more cheating than steroids, because that makes you concentrate better. So,
no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's stuff. I mean, there's tons of stuff out there that, I mean, winter ball, they'd have like super strong coffee that would just, lock you in for the day, those night games, the day games. And They get you going, and that's the grind. That's steroids. That's all it would do is help you recover for those night to day games and the recovery
That's
factor.
that's why I
Strength
think
guys, like you think Judge on steroids is going to be hitting 600-foot homers? Like, I just think he'd recover better. He'd be locked in better. He'd feel 100% every day. Be feeling great, and that's more than that's what steroids do more than anything else. I think in baseball, especially.
Fish, our executive producer, said he has a friend that has a question as well. Is the home run that was shown when you hit the ball in the water against the Reds your favorite home run of your career? And if not, what is?
The one in the river. Yeah, that probably one of the ones. Well, probably my walk off Arthur Rhodes, the lefty from the Cardinals. He owned me, man, and I hated facing him. And I had a tough at bat off him, and I choked up, and he just hung me his slider just enough, and I hit it out, and it was a walk off, and that one felt pretty darn good to just get him, finally, and came at a clubhouse, just pumped up from that. But
just so you know, you mentioned another favorite word for Speedy, hung. So you got hung and stiff. So you got two great words right there.
Nice.
I mean, this is perfect for you, Speedy. Two of your favorite words.
Garrett, if he ever publishes a dictionary, don't buy it.
I love it. I love it. Good stuff, Speedy. We love it.
Oh, we do love it. Speedy, you love it. Come on, Speedy. Put a smile on your face.
I am.
Okay.
I could say a lot more good words for you, Speedy, anytime.
Oh, you do it so organically. I love it.
Right,
I mean,
right,
you should be my dictionary, Garrett Jones dictionary. It's a perfect, selling tactic right here, Speedy. I mean, and you got your two favorite words in this show right here, hung and stiff. I mean, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe we need the dictionary of Jones. You mentioned Spencer Jones earlier. We had Jock Jones on last week.
Oh, nice.
Maybe we need maybe we need the dictionary of Jones mentioned on the show.
Yeah, well, Jones. Actually, there is underwear named Jones. Speedy.
Okay, and of course that's where you go to.
There's a whiskey. I found a whiskey out of New York that's Jones too, or bourbon. I think it's whiskey.
It's whiskey. It's whiskey. Yep.
I might need that more times he mentions underwear.
Right. Underwear and then a little whiskey underwear. Yeah, wherever that goes.
I mean, what's better than Jones, stiff, and hung?
It flows nicely. There you go.
It definitely flows perfectly. Just make sure you keep it. You keep it PG-13 for all the kids out there. Yeah. Anyways, we love you, Garrett. Keep up the good work. We'll get it. We'll be in touch with you when the season starts. And love to talk more baseball with you, bud.
You guys as well. Take care, guys. Thanks again.
Absolutely. Garrett Jones, 8-year MLB first baseman, was a Yankee, Pittsburgh Pirate, had a great career.